So the pews are missing, and this could mean clearing the way for the new king. The Kohan dances, the blue and red have combined, paying homage, making way for the king. Kohan dance was to bring in and combine together heaven and earth. This is called TND, which means sky, earth. And there's a lot of that blending of heaven and earth on that day. And that's part of the prophecies, is that when heaven and earth shall meet. And I thought, or part of it was Aurora Borealis on the 5th of November, 23, coming down, being seen as far south as Norfolk, Suffolk, and Sussex. Right? So that's pretty.
Well, I think it was probably one of the steps, but definitely what we witnessed there.
There's another one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this TND, Dance of Heaven Meets Earth. Lion is the king of the land, and the eagle is the king of the sky. King David's Chinese zodiac is the phoenix. The rose meets the rose line, which leads to the Plantagenets and to the Sinclairs. It's a biblical comeback. Point to point, one came from the north and one came from the south, which is me. Two Christs meet. Christos means king, and Messiah means anointed king. Shiloh, spelled Shiloh, Shiloh has returned, and Shiloh is pronounced Shiloh.
Description of you two, right?
Basically, Charles is head of a kingdom of liars. Brethren does not mean anything. So now we get on to the senior house of Anjou and the junior house of Anjou are joined in David. You need one mark, but David has three or many. David lifts up his shirt sleeve to show two lines, mark of Solomon, the Grail cross, the mark of the Merovingian, and the mark of Cain.
Do you have a picture of it? Or can we get a picture,
And
David?
You set time, but yeah, wait for things to happen. In the last 10 days test, those testings were all bound because they saw he had the marks that prophesied and their birthmarks. Right? And he's got the ring. So all the high orders saw the prophecy physically on his body. The Grail cross is the line of Judah as the hair of David. The Grail cross is the line of Judah as the hair of David. And we both have birthmarks. I've got that one there is considered a birthmark. That's freckles and it's in the Corona star system for crown. Considered a birthmark. That's freckles and it's in the Corona star system for crown. David's paternal line is the house of Sinclair. David's maternal line is the house of Plantagenet. The prophecy of the two houses is the senior line and junior line of the house of Anjou would mix and fulfill the prophecy, producing the Sangreal rose line. This is the purest of the pure. That's the highest. So what we're really looking at is in the Da Vinci Code where they look for the Sangreal, which is the royal bloodline. We've found it.
Rose line.
Rose line, yeah. So then there's a little bit on me, which she said to put in, because it kind of ties in, so I'll read it. Joseph Hallett is a descendant of Queen Anne Boleyn and grandson Sir Walter Raleigh, who got the Book of Prophecies in July 1506 and became the Lord of the Riddle Mark. Passed down his line to Joseph Hallett as the Lord of the Riddle Mark, with the letter opener of the bodyguard of the King of the Algarve to prove it. It's here. There. That actually says Prince Regent Duke Governor of the Algarve, which means King to be of the Algarve. I'm instructed to raise it up with my right hand.
Okay.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
You also have the deed of entitlement.
Yeah. Lord of the Riddle Mark is now announcing the hair of David, which is me announcing David. Lord of the riddle mark is now announcing the hair of David, the root of David, the direct descendant of David, the line of Judah, as per Revelation 5:5. Weep not, behold, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, hath prevailed to open the book and to loose the seven seals thereof.
Are you kidding?
So it says, yeah. I mean, it's
You
just
open the book and what?
so. Weep not, behold, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, hath prevailed to open the book and to loose the seven seals thereof. So we're going through the seven seals now. We've opened the book and we're revealing the seven seals. And I think Peterborough Cathedral, in relation to Ralston Chapel, is one of the seals. So we kind of got in there.
You also had the seven archways behind you, which were the seven seals.
Yeah. Oh, but 3, 1, and 3. Yeah. Okay. The one who's worthy to open the scroll. Quote, yeah. The letter opener refers to the bodyguard of the king, Marquis of Pembroke, and Prince Regent Duke Governor. It announces the King of Kings and Lord of Lords, the Lord of the Rings, the Return of the King, 2003 movie. This is the beginning of the kingdom of lies being crushed underfoot.
Huh.
Yep. Yay! The Rex Deus families were ring lords. He who wears the ring is the Lord of the Rings. Fellowship equals fellow Rosicrucian, fellow Templar, and fellow High Orders. The twin towers represent the two chapels, Peterborough and Roslyn, and also David and Greg. And the Lord of the Rings is the twin towers. And the two towers represent Mary Magdalene. You see Cathedral, two towers. David returns with Theoden King. That's why king is a suffix. It's not King Theoden, it's Theoden King, because it's Theoden King.
Got it.
Which is Norse mythology. In The Lord of the Rings, Aragorn and Theoden usher in the fourth age of Middle-earth. But in real life, David and Greg are ushering in the fifth age, the Golden Age, the Messianic Age, which is defined as 1,000 years of peace.
Right.
It actually carries on for longer. The bell is ringing out clear, and that's in Canon 11. It's the bell with the 7 Orthodox planets on the wall.
Can I interrupt for a second there? Because Odin in Norse mythology, he was blind in one eye.
The saying is, there's nothing higher than a blind king. The King of Hanover was totally blind. King George V of Hanover. David is from the conquering tribe of Judah, a direct descendant of King David, King Solomon, and king of the mighty Messianic line, and is a Nazarene, which you don't find on Wikipedia. Nazareth didn't exist until around 80-60, whereas Nazarites didn't cut their hair, avoided wine, and didn't touch the dead. Nazarene is a tribe of long-haired kings like Samson, David, his son Solomon, and Jesus. Samson was a Nazarite, hence the Merovingians are still known as the long-haired kings.
Mm-hmm.
He's got long hair. These were men of large giant build with huge strength, which he's got. Through Mary Magdalene linked King Saul, known as the Lion of God, who was before David. These were Benjamites, house of Benjamin. Now we're getting into the houses. Mary Magdalene was a daughter of kings and no prostitute. There was a union of David, the tribe of Judah, and Benjamin, the tribe of Benjamin. There was also a union of Judah and Benjamin with the tribe of Joseph, which is me. Aragorn is described as over 6'7" with very long dark hair and piercing grey blue eyes, also known as Striders. This is Lord of the Rings, right? Judah is very long stride, and this is a good description of a Nazarene king and the Messianic king that came out of the tribe of Judah. It's also a good description of David. Joseph Gregory Hallett fits the description of the house of Ephraim, house of Joseph, and in The Lord of the Rings, Theoden King was around 6 foot with a goatee in his 60s, head of the horse lords of Rohan, and a horse lord in need of reviving, which fits Gregory Hallett to a T. Yeah, I'm allowed to throw in some humility there. Come on. Theoden King, Lord of the Riddlemark, was the king of Rohan, and Aragorn was king of Gondor and king of the Fourth Age, hence king of kings. In real life, this is king of the Fifth Age. We both read Lord of the Rings at the same young age, 11 and 13. You have the houses, we have the blood, we have the marks, we fit the description of our houses perfectly, and the prophecies perfectly, and the books perfectly, the Bible and the Lord of the Rings. The Nazarene has removed his restrainer. Tough luck for the bad guys. The two Christs meet point to point and are not alone, they are riding together. This will shake the foundations of the earth and shake the heavens. We are going to fulfill the covenant no one else has. The Garden of Eden will reign again. The heaven and earth will become one, Tian Di, and it ushers in the golden age, messianic age of peace. For those who are in the know, it's a kind of magic. It's a kind of magic. This alludes back to the 1982 movie Conan the Barbarian and to the 1986 movie Highlander. As alluded to in both these movies, King David was also born under a black moon in the northern hemisphere and under a black sun in the southern hemisphere, being a total solar eclipse to the minute.
Wow.
Yeah. Also, David was conceived in a black moon month, which is 2 no moons in the same month. Right? 2 new moons in the same month.
Yeah.
This is auspicious for kings, as recognized by the Wiccans of Scandinavia, Russia, and the Druids of England, Albion. The Druids of England came from the priestly tribe of Levi. Now, he asked me to put some stuff in about me, just my birth, and he said, "Oh, have you got any of these fantastic eclipses and black moons?" And I go, "No, look, I got nothing." He says, "Well, what?" So, you got Jonah and the whale, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. My mother's ancestors, like her uncle and grandfather, that were whalers, because when you're setting up civilization, whales actually provide the beginning of civilization.
Everything.
Lamps, everything, bones for fences, right? So when people first went to New Zealand, when the whites first went there around 1800, the first thing they did was whaling. Yeah, that was your petrol station.
Survival.
So Greg Hallett was born 3 days late in the belly of a whale. His mother's uncle was the last to harpoon a whale in Otago Harbour in 1931. And I lived in Auckland, which is known as Jaffa, right?
Mhm.
And Jonah, who spent 3 days on the whale, he lived in Jaffa, right? So Jaffa means just another fabulous Aucklander. Right? So it's Jaffa. And then Greg Hallett's 239 pounds and David is 23 stone 9 pounds.
Yeah, you have the weight, right, for that prophecy.
Predicted to show who are the true kings on the 23rd of September 2023. Right, good. Thanks for the weight loss tips. I lost 10 pounds in 4 days.
I know. It's amazing.
Yeah, so when I weighed myself, I was actually about a pound light, but I'd lost 10 pounds in 4 days. So if I weighed myself at like about 10 a.m. But if I weighed myself at 8 a.m. or 6 a.m., I would have been a pound heavier. So Theoden and Aragorn are being announced. Everything is in threes. All the Fellowship and Fellowship of the Ring will be watching this more than once. The King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, the return of the prophecy fulfilled, which is kind of what I wanted to call this. He said, "Oh, that's great."
The return of the prophecies fulfilled.
No, prophecy singular. The return of the prophecy fulfilled.
Okay.
Prophecy is kind of like it's kind of a semi-plural word. So we're not alone. We've been fulfilling prophecy after prophecy and are cousins with birthmarks. These birthmarks are supportive. This is the Da Vinci Code for real. David has AB negative blood, the same as the Shroud of Turin, the rarest blood type. They all bow their heads and bend their knees, which is kind of what's been happening during 7 and 10-day tests.
House of Rohan?
How's your
My
brother?
last name is Kohan. It's close.
Oh, isn't that? Just replace the actually, just take a little bit off the R.
Yeah, exactly. There it is.
Wow, you're sneaking in there, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm going to find my way in here one way or the other.
What are you doing on the day that's good enough? You know,